Welcome back, Bitcoiners. Today I'm making a video for those that are fresh to Bitcoin. Maybe they're just interested, maybe they haven't invested yet, maybe they've invested a little bit, but they just want some help. I'm here to help. So let's get this up. So the first slide, this is going to make your Bitcoin journey easy and smooth. It's actually not as complicated or overwhelming as a lot of people think. And I'm here to help. So the first one, plug into community. Second, watch and listen to Bitcoin content and education. Third, read books and listen to audiobooks related to Bitcoin. Fourth, buy on exchanges first, then move to cold storage / hardware devices. Don't stress, I'm going to go into it further. Fifth, learn the best way to secure and start educating. So you can help other people educate once you've done this little course I've created. Alrighty, so plug into community, find more Bitcoiners. So you want people that are going to be like-minded in the space. You don't want to be dealing with all the crypto bros. You just want to have Bitcoiners only and people that are pro Bitcoin. They'll think the same as you. They'll want to accomplish the same things as you. And it's just awesome to be able to get into a community that offers help anytime you need. So first, watch 88 Sats Radio and Jerry Loves Freedom on YouTube. These two channels have a really good community base for Bitcoiners. So they will help with anything you need. You can leave comments, you can direct DMs, you can join their signal groups they have. You can join like 88 Sats Radio. He has a Patreon you can join. It's like $5 a month, but it is full of awesome content and it will get you into these signal groups, into these telegrams. And yeah, super, super helpful. So follow these two guys. Yeah, and you also just want to find other Bitcoiners in your local community. So whether that's some of your friends or your family that you know are into Bitcoin, team up and do this together, or even join like a local meetup that might happen every few weeks, every few months in your local area. That can be helpful as well. And then just be open to new ideas and lines of thinking. Bitcoin will completely change perspectives on money and life in general. So you need to go into Bitcoin with an open mind, understand it's not just a pump and dump. It's not just to make a quick buck and leave. It will completely change your view on money. So these are 88 Sats Radio and Jerry Loves Freedom's channel. You can see they do live shows every single day, basically. And you can tune into the lives or you can just watch the clips they repost. I recommend with Jerry Loves Freedom, you try and tune into the live. He does like a spin the wheel and you can win some free Satoshis, which is Bitcoin. He'll also answer questions, put your comment on the screen, and he'll even probably send you some Satoshis if you say you're new, and he'll invite you to the signal through this live chat. He'll want you to get involved, want to help you, and super, super helpful. With 88 Sats Radio, Jaw will be doing lives. You can comment, he'll reply to the live, similar thing, but he also posts a lot of good clips. So if you just have maybe a question, you can search through his channel, he'll have it, or just watch some of his newest videos and you can catch up. Now, watch and listen to Bitcoin content / education. So I'm just going to expand on what I said before. So continue to listen to those guys I just mentioned, but also subscribe to Maple Bitcoin, which is made up of Rajat Soni, Forrest from Bitcoin Not Crypto, and Jaw from 88 Sats Radio, and they just cover so many good topics. They do like a weekly live, but then they also do clips throughout the week. So you can watch the clips, you can watch the lives. Very, very, very helpful. You can also watch Rajat Soni or Bitcoin Not Crypto on their own channels. Very, very informative and educational. Second, listen to Michael Saylor's interviews and keynotes when he goes to conferences. So a lot of people have interviewed this bloke now because it is incredible what he has done. He essentially turned a dying business into a Bitcoin superpower as a publicly traded company. I'm not going to go into further now, but you want to listen to what this man says because he is extremely smart and educated in the Bitcoin space. And he went from living with just dollars in a business with just backed by dollars now to being fully backed by Bitcoin. And he's like taking over essentially every company. Listen to Jeff Booth's interviews and keynotes when he goes to conferences. So many people, he doesn't have his own channel, but so many people have interviewed him, listen to him. He also has a book called The Price of Tomorrow, and that will really open your eyes to how broken the money system is and where Bitcoin could actually turn the ship around. Listen to Jack Mollers on interviews and subscribe to his YouTube channel, The Jack Mollers Show. He does a live stream once a week, and man, he chooses his words so carefully. And he is extremely smart. He's also the CEO of Strike, where you can buy and send Bitcoin. And he is also like going to be the co-founder and co-CEO of the new company 21 Capital, which turns dying businesses into Bitcoin-backed businesses, similar to what Michael Saylor's company Strategy did. Then there's also find small channels. So small channels are going to be like your little hidden gems. So you think, oh, well, maybe I should just follow the big channels of the world. They know the most. Actually, some of these little channels will be so genuine and honest, and they'll build up really cool communities and bring up some very good talking points, that these are the places you want to spend your free time. So once you've listened to a lot of the big dogs and you've got the general gist of Bitcoin, now find these smaller channels. So honorable mentions are Gen Z BTC, young bloke, I think he's 26. I've done an interview with him. He knows so much, especially for his age, and he also does it in a funny, engaging way. And on top of that, he will speak to young people. So if you're a young person in Bitcoin, he's a perfect person to listen to. So subscribe to his channel. And then also Work Save Bitcoin, another young guy. He just posts like daily content of just clips about Bitcoin. And yeah, just very down to earth, genuine person. He's not going to scream in your ear. He'll probably put you to sleep with his voice. But awesome bloke. Bitcoin Bram. I think I'm saying that right. But he just does a lot of cool interviews. So he's interviewed Jeff Booth and a few others that I've maybe mentioned. And yeah, just a very good interviewer, someone that you should look out for. Now, these are the three guys I was mentioning before, Jack Mollers, Jeff Booth, and Michael Saylor. So these are the faces you're searching. Now, I want you guys to read books and listen to audiobooks. And so we've got these 5 books I think everyone should at least read or listen to. So the first one, The Price of Tomorrow, which is by Jeff Booth. The Big Print, The Creature from Jekyll Island. The Creature from Jekyll Island's really, really good because it'll talk about the Federal Reserve and basically where crap hit the fan, where they just made, hey, we need to figure out how we can print as much money as possible, centralize banks, centralize this money printer, and essentially become the most powerful entity in the world. The Bitcoin standard is a little more advanced, but it will open your eyes to what Bitcoin is and where it's headed. And that was written in like 2018. So he obviously saw the vision. It's now 2025 and Bitcoin's over 100,000 US. I think back then it was like less than 20,000, maybe even less than 10,000. Very cool book. And he's an extremely smart person. He also wrote a book called The Fiat Standard and partnered with someone called Fiat Food as well. And those books just really expose how as soon as we went to fiat money, fiat currency, that could just be printed out of thin air, the quality of our life and quality of standard has basically gone down the toilet. The last one, thank God for Bitcoin. So this is really good for those that maybe have a Christian faith, like myself, that believe in God and believe in him being the creator. But I believe Bitcoin is actually a morally sound money. So it's the closest we have to a morally sound money that by holding it, it doesn't benefit one small individual group and then destroy another. It actually just benefits everyone across the board. So it talks about how he transfers money into other countries using Bitcoin because their currencies are so weak and they get inflated at a rate that is unbelievable, that Bitcoin can actually be like a store of value in these countries. So it's really good for mission work, like building wells in Africa, things like that. And yeah, that's an awesome book to read or to listen to. Now, buying on exchanges first, and then when ready, move to cold storage and hardware devices. So don't stress right now. You might have heard about cold storage and hardware devices, and it all sounds a bit too much. Right now, just buy on trusted exchanges, and you can hold it there. It's very, very unlikely that there's going to be a sinking ship and you're going to get cooked. Now, it has happened in the past, but there's a very, very low chance. And you need to just find the right ones. So understand who the CEOs are. Understand, are they holding Bitcoin one-to-one, or are they trying to lend out your Bitcoin? Do a little deep dive in the people that you're thinking about selecting, but buy off a trusted exchange. Then I want you guys to download some Lightning wallets and start to learn the difference between on-chain transactions and Lightning transactions. Then educate yourself on exchanges, hot wallets, and Lightning wallets, and figure out what the differences are. Educate yourself on Bitcoin ETFs like BlackRock and publicly traded companies holding Bitcoin like Michael Saylor's company Strategy, because you need to understand what the difference are between someone buying Bitcoin off an exchange and buying Bitcoin through an ETF, or getting Bitcoin exposure through holding a stock of a company. all very, very different things. They all have their pros and cons. But right now, I think you should just be aiming on getting as much Bitcoin, pure Bitcoin, as possible. Buying on an exchange first, and then once educated, cold storage. I'll go into that a bit further. Learn the difference between holding your Bitcoin on an exchange, spell that wrong, to holding it onto self-custody. Buy a user-friendly cold storage. This is eventually, and I'll go into it further. Take your Bitcoin into self-custody and have an educated Bitcoiner help you through the process, but never give key details like passwords, such as the 24-word phrase, location, or wallet amount and address. So you actually could get like one of these people in these communities to help you. They can just maybe join a Zoom call or a video call, walk you through the steps, but don't give them any details. They do not need to know any details. They'll just walk you through how to set it up. I recommend going to 88 Sats Radio. Jaw, he will help you out with this, help you set up some cold storage. Very, very helpful, very knowledgeable, and he's done like literally probably close to 100 of these setups. Another person would be Bitcoin Not Crypto. He can help you with Forrest from that channel can help you with setting up the same things. Now, buying on exchanges first, and then when ready, you move to cold storage, like I mentioned before. So there's exchanges and wallets, and then there's also cold storage. So exchanges, US exchanges I recommend are Caleb and Brown for beginners wanting to smash by large amounts. So you've just found out what Bitcoin is, you're interested, but maybe you're not ready to just do it yourself and go on exchanges. Caleb and Brown will help you get Bitcoin exposure extremely safely in large amounts, and you'll have 24/7 help from anyone. It's basically like a brokerage system for crypto, sort of one of the big players in that space. But then there's also River, which is just a normal exchange, Strike, and Bitcoin Well. And then for Canada, I recommend Bitcoin Well only. Then I've got the UK, I recommend crypto.com or Kraken. I don't really know too much about the UK. This is just a little bit of research, but I have used crypto.com and Kraken in the past in Australia, and it's been very good. So if that's, I would avoid Coinbase and Binance. They kind of give me FTX, which is an exchange that basically was a scam. They give that sort of vibe. Australia, I recommend Caleb and Brown as well, but I also recommend SwiftX for easy sort of onboarding first time exchange use. But you can also use Strike in Australia, which is really cool because you can shop with your Bitcoin. So I've bought Amazon gift cards. I bought like Coles and Woolworths grocery gift cards, Kmart gift cards, things like that. Even BP Petroleum, British Petroleum. And yeah, you can easily send Bitcoin over the Lightning Network. So I scan QR codes on people's live streams and I donate them Satoshis just through the Lightning. It's instant. I can send someone that's in Las Vegas like Jerry literally like Bitcoin in like 1 second, even though I live in Australia. So it's so cool. Wallets and Lightning. So download Speed Wallet on your iPhone or Android and generate a Lightning address and then scan my QR code on this video to see how it works. Even 1 sat, which is less than 1 cent. So I'm not asking for money, just see how it works because it's so cool and it will arrive instantly in my wallet. And then if you even want to leave your Speed Wallet Lightning address in the comments, I'll send you some as well. Really cool how that works. I've also got a referral, which gives us both free Satoshis in my description. Next one, download Strike or Bitcoin Well for easy Lightning compatibility and swaps between on-chain and Lightning Bitcoin basically for free. So other ones, if you want to swap to Lightning, which makes it just an instant transaction and it's instead of like a wired bank transfer, for example, which is like on-chain Bitcoin, it's going to be instant over Lightning. So those are very good apps for Lightning. And then I also want you guys to download Sparrow Wallet on desktop and Mac, play around with it, only practice with small amount of Satoshis. So this wallet's just really good as like a waiting place. You can, once you're at that stage of understanding what a UTXO is and stuff, learning how to get things from exchanges, then to a wallet like Sparrow, and then to cold storage, it's a really good like waiting place. Another one would be Aqua Wallet, good place to pull from exchanges, put in a wallet just before you're about to put into cold storage. So that's another good waiting place. But right now, if you're brand new, just keep it on a trusted exchange. Keep it with someone else. And once you've learned, then you can get to these stages. Next one. So these are the 3 cold storages. Once you're at this phase, I recommend, so you can look into them once you think you're ready. So we've got Coldcar, the MK4, which is the little one on the left here that looks like a calculator. But then there's also the new one that's come out. It's called the Cold Card Q. This one's just got a bigger interface, bigger keyboard, a lot easier to use, but it's obviously going to be a price jump. And then there's a very similar competitor to this with Jade and the Jade Plus. So same sort of thing, but a different company. Then we've got the Foundation Passport. So basically Foundation Passport copied Cold Card's open source coding to set up this wallet, but it's still very, very good because Cold Card's very good. So Cold Card's a bit salty about Foundation, but they're really cool. They kind of look like a little phone. They've got a decent screen on them. They've got a camera that you can do for air gapping transactions. So you don't actually need to plug it into the computer or anything. It's very cool. And yeah, I just recommend at least getting one of these three. I don't think get with Ledger or Trezor or any of those ones, because if they're holding other cryptos, there can be a little bit of a security risk there. Now, I want you guys to continue to learn. So improve your security. Eventually, you're going to want to aim for a multi-signature setup. So I want you to increase your understanding and aim for security improvement. And every single person, even if you're so advanced in Bitcoin, you should always be looking for security holes and then trying to improve them. So you're going to be wanting to hold Bitcoin forever. That's what, once you become a real Bitcoiner, you understand, I never want to swap my money and my savings back to the fiat. You just want to be a Bitcoiner. So take it seriously. Once educated on cold storage and experience, aim for a multi-signature setup. Multi-sig requires at least 3 cold storage devices. You can place them in completely different locations. Essentially, you can't access your Bitcoin without at least 2 of the 3 devices, hence improvement on security. Although all 3 have different 24-word phrases and or passphrases like numbers, you need 2 sets to unlock the Bitcoin. So this just means if someone comes in, finds your 24-word phrases, 24-word phrase and maybe your passphrase, they don't even need the actual cold storage device. It's all just sort of like a key, a password generator. So you could actually get your cold card or your Jade or your passport destroyed, but if you still have the 20-word phrase, you can still get into your Bitcoin just by accessing it through another cold storage device or even an online wallet. So it's pretty cool. But let's say someone did find those 20-word phrases. They could easily just get into your Bitcoin. So when you have a multi-sig, they would have to get to at least 2 of the locations, find 2 of the sets of words to get in. And then that's very, very unlikely. And it's up to you how secure you want to make it. Like, you can either put it on titanium, or metal. So you just want to make sure you don't keep your passwords on paper. That's very stupid. And figure out what's going to work best for you, that you think, if someone tried to rob me today, how can I stop them from finding my 20-word phrase? And yeah, and don't memorize it in your head, because you don't want people to have to just interrogate you through your head. If you make sure you have no idea what it is and it's just written on metal somewhere or hidden in, the walls of your house or whatever it may be, that's going to be the only way they can get it. So yeah, aim for a multi-sig. Now, basic principles of Bitcoin to get you up to scratch. So if you're brand new, maybe this is the first video you've ever watched about Bitcoin, and one of the first, Bitcoin is money, but money with a max supply that cannot be changed. Bitcoin cannot be printed. So the dollar that you're currently saving in can be printed and does not have a max supply. We have no idea how much they're printing, and we have no idea how much they printed. We don't actually know the global dollars in the system. And so that causes inflation, causes a lot of problems, causes the quality of the good things around us to go down. And yeah, so as a supply of 21 million, the last Bitcoin to be mined would be 2140. So we've got some time. Bitcoin is divisible by 100 million Satoshis, so like 100 cents to $1. Bitcoin has never been hacked, successfully acted as money/store of value since 2009. It is decentralized, does not have a CEO or owner. It is not connected to a government or countries, and is really just a protocol similar to the internet. So the internet itself is not connected to any one person or one company, but there's multiple layers. So someone can onboard, let's say Google, Yahoo, Bing, DuckDuckGo, or Gmail, Hotmail, all these other services that no one really uses anymore, but they're all just plugging into the internet. There's not one internet owner. So it's kind of like that. Bitcoin doesn't have an owner or a company or an individual that's running it. It's just decentralized, all connected in by everyone that joins, everyone that plugs in with a node, plugs in with a miner, holds it as a store of value. Everyone's working together to keep this thing running. If everyone unplugged, switched off, you could kill Bitcoin. It is backed by energy, so it requires electricity and energy to mine Bitcoin, and even to run a node, so verifying Bitcoin, supporting Bitcoin. It is not backed by thin air like the dollar. So the dollar is not backed by any of this. This is just, the dollar is backed by thin air. Bitcoin is backed by energy. So it makes it 1,000 times better money, 1,000 times better savings account, 1,000 times better network, everything. And now I want you guys to go learn more and stack sats. Hope you guys like this one. Hope you learned something. But yeah, I really think you got to look into these communities, look into exchanges, look into cold storage. There's so much to learn. Someone like me, I've done probably 1,500 hours, nearly 2,000 hours of Bitcoin research, studying, podcasts, books, you name it. And I still have so much to learn. Like every day I'll watch a video, and then even if I take one thing from it, I'm like, I never even thought of that. It's just insane. So thanks for watching. Scan the QR code, send me some Satoshis over your new Lightning wallet or address, which would be pretty cool. Learn how to use all that stuff, and tune in for more of my videos too. That can be quite helpful. Cheers guys, thanks.